Welcome back. Today I wanted to go over a new book haul with you. So I have a few books that I have received in the mail, one that I actually just started reading that I really love, and then a few books that I also have on my Kindle. So I thought I would go over the books that I received recently and what I have coming up on my reading list. I'll link all these in the description box. I do have an Amazon affiliate storefront as well. I do have a whole list over there of all of my 2025 reads, but I just started this book. And I already know that it is one, going to pull at my heartstrings, but two, this is just one that I cannot put down. So this book is If Tomorrow Never Comes, and it's by Allison Ashley. So I really love, as part of my night routine, is I have a physical book on my nightstand, and that is what I read every single night. I do also have my Kindle. I have a Kindle Paperwhite, and I read a lot of books that I have for review. Since I am also a book blogger, I run chickletplus.com. So I have a lot of authors and publishing houses reach out to me to ask me to do book reviews. I typically get those books on my Kindle, and I try to read them as fast as I can. I read while I eat, I read while I do skincare, etc. And for me, it's easier to have my Kindle there, and it's not like I'm holding open a paperback book. But for me, I try to decrease my screen time at night, whether it be my cell phone, TV. Even though the Kindle doesn't have a blue light, I still try to switch to my physical book. And it's just part of my night routine of like climbing into a book, actually opening up the book and all of the things. So I put this one on my nightstand because I was like, this is going to be the next one that I read. I have found myself one thing that I also do is I try to not be on my phone, like glued to my phone all day long. So when I need to charge my phone, I charge it in my bedroom, and I work in a separate space in my apartment. So I will go put my phone away and I will make it sit over there while it's charging. And that is on my nightstand. What I've done the last couple of days is, as I go to plug in my phone, I'm like, I'll just read one chapter really quick. That is how you know you found a good book, when you're like, oh, did I walk past my nightstand again? Let me just read a chapter of this book. This one, it's got me. So again, If Tomorrow Never Comes by Allison Ashley. It says, uncertain of what tomorrow brings, Elliot Holland decides to live it up on the eve of a stem cell transplant to treat her leukemia. It's destiny when she crossed paths with handsome and charming Jamie Sullivan. Their chemistry is magic. So is a beautiful evening that ends with a bittersweet kiss goodbye and no expectations of ever seeing each other again. So they both live in Nebraska, but they live in different parts of it. And Elliot is where in Omaha, where Jamie lives, because she's getting ready for this stem cell transplant. But she doesn't want him to know, gives him a different name, all the things. So then it says, 1 year later, Elliot's future looks good. Her cancer is in remission, her career in graphic design is taking off, and she's finally met Carly, the young woman whose stem cell donation gave Elliot a second chance at life. Then, in a twist of fate, both blissful and unfair, she meets Carly's boyfriend. It's Jamie. This is the man Elliot kissed like it was her last day on earth, and neither of them has ever forgotten it. Now the most difficult decisions of all lie ahead. Whatever risks there are to the heart, one needs to win out, to grab hold of everything that can make someone feel alive again. So I am only 59 pages in, but man, right from the beginning, like, I was hooked. Elliot's story, the battles that she's had with her health already as such a young woman, and then meeting someone, and then, deciding to give him a different name and not really tell him what is going on, but having this beautiful night together, and then meeting the person who saved your life. And then I'm like, I just know. I haven't teared up yet, but I just know this book is definitely going to bring out some tears in me, but I am very invested so far. I'm super excited to keep reading that one. Next up, one that I have on my Kindle is The Hollywood Assistant, and this is by Cobb. The synopsis says, offered a dream job in Hollywood with a famous director and his actress wife, an insecure woman becomes their personal assistant, where their secrets and lies place her in the crosshairs of a murder investigation. Cassidy Foster is heartbroken, stuck in life, and getting a little too obsessed with plants. Then, when a well-connected friend becomes sick of Cassidy's moping and gets her a gig with a famous Hollywood couple, Marisol and Nate Sterling, Cassidy jumps at the chance to move to sunny LA. The Sterlings are warm and welcoming, a perfect couple. All Cassidy has to do is be available a few hours a week for errands. In return, she has access to luxury, designer clothes, a sparkling pool, great pay. When Nate takes interest in her, asking her to read scripts he's written, Cassidy thinks this could be the key to kickstarting her writing dreams. As their business relationship grows, so does their attraction. Nate is sexy and talented, and Cassidy can't believe her luck. Clearly, Marisol doesn't know what she has. Maybe that's why the two are always fighting when they think Cassidy isn't around. But Cassidy learned she was hired for a different purpose. The Sterlings aren't the perfect couple. Marisol isn't the perfect wife. and when one of them is found dead, Cassidy becomes the perfect suspect. So I have read from May Cobb before. I have read, I think I've read a couple of books. The Hunting Wives, A Likeable Woman, that was a wild one. My Summer Darlings. Okay, so I've read quite a few from May Cobb actually. So I would really recommend A Likeable Woman. That one was very interesting to me. She writes some really fun thrillers, and so this one I am looking forward to reading as well, because I love like a good contemporary romance novel. I love a good chick lit novel, and then I love thriller. Drop your reading preferences below. Next one, I'm really excited to read this too. This is The Book Club for Troublesome Women. Okay, this is by Marie Bostwick. Okay, so this one is one of my, a lot of times I get advanced reader copies, so I don't know if you can tell like by the back and everything, but it's a little bit on the different side, but it's an uncorrected proof essentially. But we get it early, so I can again be able to give those early reviews. This one is going to be on sale April 22nd, so not for a minute yet. But by 1960 standards, Margaret Ryan is living the American woman's dream. She has a husband, 3 children, a station wagon, and a home in Concordia, one of Northern Virginia's most exclusive and picturesque suburbs. She has a standing invitation to the neighborhood coffee klatch, and now, thanks to her husband, a new subscription to A Woman's Place, a magazine that tells housewives like Margaret exactly who to be and what to buy. On paper, she has it all, so why doesn't she feel like that's enough? Margaret is thrown for a loop when she first meets Charlotte Gustafson, Concordia's newest and most intriguing resident. As an excuse to be in the mysterious Charlotte's orbit, Margaret concocts a book club get-together and invites 2 other neighborhood women, Bitsy and Viv, to the inaugural meeting. As the women share secrets, cocktails, and their honest reactions to the controversial bestseller, The Feminine Mystique, they begin to discover that the American dream that they've been sold isn't all roses and sunshine, and that their secret longing for more is something they share. Nicknaming themselves the Bettys after Betty Friedan, these 4 friends have no idea their impromptu club and the books they read together will become the glue that helps them hold fast through tears, triumphs, angst, and arguments, and what will prove to be the most consequential and freeing year of their lives. The Book Club for Troublesome Women is a humorous, thought-provoking, and nostalgic romp through one pivotal and tumultuous American year, as well as an ode to self-discovery, persistence, and the power of sisterhood. I love books like this. I do like books that are set in the past, especially where we learn about strong women. And I was mentioning in my last video I actually just filmed ways that we're going to level up in 2025, and I talked about having a financial glow up, and I talked about how women can still have more financial struggles than men, but about how women couldn't even get their own line of credit until 1974, which was not that long ago. So again, this book is set in the 1960s. So stuff like that I think is very fascinating to read. I like to be educated on this. I like to be able to understand the journey that we have gone on, and how sometimes we're kind of moving backwards on that journey. But I think that this one will be such an interesting read. I loved the cover of it as well. Another one that I have on my Kindle is The Design of Us, and this is by Sajni Patel. One impulsive lie leads to a week-long adventure of fake dating, for 2 bickering coworkers in this swoony destination wedding rom-com. So Sunshine Incarnate Banu brings big UX energy to whatever she does, including going for the promotion where her only serious competition is her work nemesis, aka Sunny, the grump with the Denzel voice. She expected to get a reprieve from him while visiting her family in Hawaii, but the universe has other plans. She runs into Sunny at the hotel and witnesses his ex criticizing him about being single, so she does the first thing that comes to mind. Impetuously claims to be Sunny's girlfriend just to get some peace and quiet. Except Sunny is on island for a friend's wedding, and his ex has already texted the entire wedding party about this mysterious girlfriend. Banu truly is the bane of Sunny's existence, but the last thing he wants to do is cause tension during his friend's wedding festivities, much less be the object of their pity. He has no choice except to play along, if only he and Banu can put aside their quarreling and act like a real couple. We have a hilariously meddling family and Sunny's ecstatic friends. The 2 are pushed even closer together, even as stress mounts over the impending promotion. They say what happens on the island stays on the island, but as Sunny and Banu let their guards down, will either of them be able to resist this romantic getaway without crossing the lines? Okay, so fun. I'm really excited to read, like I said, a good rom-com, chick lit. This has wedding rom-com based in Hawaii. I think I'm really going to get down with this book as well. I'm so excited because I just got in the latest launch from one of my favorite authors, who is Kristy, Woodson, Harvey. I love her books. I just finished reading A Happier Life. I have my short form video posted on it, my review. I gave it a 5-star review. I highly, highly recommend you read it. It was one of those books where I was like prolonging finishing it because I was like, no, I'm not ready for it to be over yet. So I really, really enjoy her books. So this one is Beach House Rules. Again, this is an advanced reader edition. This one is going to be on sale on May 27th. So the back, actually, I don't have a whole lot yet to go off of from here, but it says a sparkling story of community of women and an infamous North Carolina beach house. So set in Juniper Shores, North Carolina. It says, you didn't hear it from me, but which Juniper Shores, North Carolina mother-daughter duo is hiding out at the Mommune, aka Alice Bailey's bed and breakfast turned single mom halfway house? NYC transplants Charlotte and Iris Sitterly are living their best beachfront lives alongside the other moms and kids, while the disgraced Bill S. awaits trial at Club Fed. Sure, sharing chores is great, but when the women discover a shocking secret about one of their own, will it shatter the sisterhood? Stay tuned. Okay, so that is going to be Beach House Rules. I am super excited to read this. I love so many books by Kristy, Woodson, Harvey. And again, if you haven't checked out The Happier Life yet, I highly recommend it. Next up, another book that I have for my Kindle is Where Are You, Echo Blue? This is by Hayley Krischer. This one says, a smart, juicy, and thrilling novel about celebrity, fandom, and the price of ambition following a journalist's obsessive search for a missing Hollywood starlet. Says when Echo Blue, the most famous child star of the 90s, disappears ahead of a highly publicized television appearance on the eve of the millennium, the salacious theories instantly start swirling. Mostly, people assume Echo has gotten herself in trouble after a reckless New Year's Eve. But Goldie Klein, an ambitious young journalist who also happens to be Echo's biggest fan, knows there must be more to the story. Why, on the eve of her big comeback, would Echo just go missing without a trace? After a year of covering dreary local stories for Manhattan Eye, Goldie is sure this will be her big break. Who better to find Echo Blue and tell the story the right way than her? And so Goldie heads to LA to begin a wild search that takes her deep into Echo's complicated life, in which parental strife, friend breakups, rehab stints, and bad romances abound. But the further into Echo's world Goldie gets, the more she questions her own complicity and the young star's demise. Yet she cannot tear herself away from this story, which has now consumed her entirely. Meanwhile, we also hear Echo's side of things from the beginning, showing a young woman who is chewed up and spit out by Hollywood, as so many are, and who have had to pay the ultimate price. As these young women's poignant and unexpected journeys unfold and eventually meet, Where Are You, Echo Blue interrogates celebrity culture, the thin line between admiration and obsession, and what it means to tell other people's stories, all while ushering us on an unruly ride to find out what did become of Echo Blue. I think this is going to be so fascinating to read the story. I'm really looking forward to this one. All right, and then another one, I just got this in the mail the other day. This book I believe is already out now. This is The Distractions by Liza Monroe. So this one says, solitary tech worker Misha Osborne is mourning the shelving of her passion project, an artificial intelligence algorithm capable of love, when a chance encounter with a social media celebrity leads her spiraling into an all-consuming obsession. Simultaneously, someone or something is watching. So there is a author review on the back cover. This is by Maria Vetrano, author of Queen Bess, A Tutor Comes to Save America. So from her review, it says, The Distractions takes us into a not too distant future in which social media isn't just accessible, it's so persuasive that it's the driving force of human existence. Personalized aerial bots the size of bumblebees broadcast our every move. The lines between human and humanoid companionship have become blurred, and the measure of a person's entire life is represented by a pie chart. What's left in a world in which food is 3D printed and people can choose between a biological spring-off and an AI robot Barbie. It's like giving me anxiety just reading this. It's the authentic human emotion of craving connection with other living beings. Enough to make you laugh and tender enough to make your heart ache, The Distractions is imaginative, frighteningly realistic, and thoroughly compelling. I'm very curious to give this one a read. From the front it says, smart, unexpected, engrossing, and thought-provoking. Another author review. That one is already out now. Next up on my Kindle, we have Business Casual. This is by B.K. Borison. So I have read from B.K. Borison in the past. This is part of the Love Light series. Yes, Love Light series. I think this is the second novel on here. It says, two opposites decide to test their chemistry with one steamy night together, but will once be enough? Nova Porter isn't looking for love, and she certainly has no explanation for her attraction to buttoned-up, three-piece suit-wearing investment banker Charlie Milford. Maybe it's his charm, or maybe it's his determination to help her fledgling business however he can. Either way, she's distracted every time he's around. With her new tattoo studio set to open in her hometown of Inglewild, she doesn't have time for frivolous flirtations. In an effort to get Charlie out of her system once and for all, Nova offers a proposition. One night, no strings. They'll kick their uncomfortable attraction to the curb and return to their respective responsibilities. But their explosive night together scatters their expectations like fallen leaves. And with Charlie in town as the temporary head of Lovelight Farms, Nova can't quite avoid him. And Charlie, well, Charlie knows a good investment when he sees one. He's hoping he can convince Nova he's worth some of her time. So I have read In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. I don't think I read Mixed Signals, but I know that I read In the Weeds, and that was a good one too. So I'm excited to catch up with more in the Lovelight series. And this one is more like chick lit rom-com, I would say. And the last one that I have for my Kindle is 4 Weekends and a Funeral. This is by Ellie Palmer. So this says, she found the right guy at the dead wrong time. When 30-year-old post-double mastectomy BRCA1 carrier and reluctant thrill seeker Allison Mullally arrives at her ex-boyfriend Sam's funeral to discover that no one knows he dumped her, she agrees to play the grieving girlfriend over the holidays for the sake of the family. Little did she know this would mean packing up Sam's apartment with his prickly best friend Adam Berg. After all, it'll only take 4 weekends. But Adam doesn't want Allison anywhere near him. Forced to spend long hours with the grump and his monosyllabic demeanor, Allison decides to put her people-pleasing abilities to the test. She will make him like her. And after awkward family affairs, snowy mishaps, and packing up dilemmas, the two form a tenuous friendship. If friendship means incredible chemistry and sexual tension, can Allison come clean and finally embrace the life and love she's always wanted? Or will her little white lie get in the way of her new unexpected romance? Okay, so I feel like the last few books that I've hauled, we have a little bit all over. We have some chick lit, we have some rom-com, we have some thriller, we have like the Echo Blue book is very interesting to me. And again, the one that I just started reading, If Tomorrow Never Comes, I am so invested in this one. So that is my book haul for the start of 2025. Let me know what you are reading in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.